In today's show, we're going to talk about how to be productive at work. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that I've built up over the years to help you be more productive. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. If you are coming through, please do let me know. It'd be good to hear from you. If they help, also let me know. All right, so let's crack straight into this. I'm just going to give you a couple of productivity tips that I use to help me be as productive as possible in the workplace. So the first one is to block out distractions. Now, there are two types of distractions, internal and external. Internal distractions are this... if you like, self-made distractions, i.e. Avoiding the task by looking at social media, by looking through your phone, by watching YouTube, by making calls to other people, by sending out emails or checking your emails. Okay, so whenever you want to try and do those big tasks, those tasks that move your business or your career forwards, we avoid them. We just end up getting sucked into distracting ourselves, okay, with those other factors or points that I talked about. The other one is external. Now, that's where people come in and they end up disturbing you and they end up trying to phone you, or people are trying to always ask you questions or try and get you to meetings or whatever it's going to be. Now, the ways to do that is to communicate with people in terms of saying you're out of office, turning your phone off, making sure you put do not disturb or a big fuck off sign on your head, basically, in some way, shape or form. But trying to make it clear, if you're running your own business, for sure you can tell people that you don't want to be disturbed while you're trying to complete a huge task, okay? So it's trying to manage as best as you can the internal and external distractions that are going on around you. Second tip that I want to give you is managing your time and your energy. Now, productivity comes from identifying your best time to work. Now, I have a period of time between 9 a.m. in the morning and 12:30 in the afternoon. And I call that time the kill zone. And that goes from 9 to 10:30, so that's an hour and a half of solid, productive work without distraction. And then from 11 to 12:30. Now, I know that when I get to 12:30, that I'm going to end up fading, that I'm going to end up getting weary, that I'm going to end up having used up most of my mental and emotional energy. So it's important for me to get my priority tasks done before that time, okay? That way I've been as productive as possible. If I'm trying to do my most important tasks in the afternoon, once I'm tired and weary and lethargic, I'm not going to be able to dominate that time. Third tip is do not check your emails until you've done that kill zone period. Okay, so do not check your emails until 12:30. Let me tell you why. Because the minute you go in and you check your emails, you are distracted. That is you done. I reckon that it's going to take you maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to just have to deal with the emails that have come through your front door, the problems, the things that you have to do to solve those problems, contacting people. And suddenly, this was your main task. Now you've been drawn off and pulled in another direction. When actually what you're trying to do is achieve some priority task, but now you've been sucked into the email. So do not check your emails until 12:30. When we plan at the start, tip 4, when we plan at the start of the week, what we want to do is ensure that we have the 3 top things that we want to achieve in each of our pillars. Okay, so health, relationships, personal development, and your business. And today we're just talking about business. So I want you to think about in your week, the top 3 things that you need to do. So that breaking that down into your 5-day week, you then identify what you have to achieve in each day. And by doing that, you identify priority tasks. So instead of having a to-do list of about 18 to 20 things that need doing, and you just look at it and think there's absolutely no way that you're going to get through it, which is very true, focus on just 1 or 2 main objectives for the day. 1 or 2 main tasks that must be completed to achieve your weekly goal. That makes your time much more valuable, and it means your effectiveness on that task is going to be 10x than what it would be if you're trying to achieve that and 18 other jobs. You then end up start rushing and start putting yourself under pressure and becoming overwhelmed. It's about, instead of being a busy fool, it's being a, what I would say, meticulous, concise, elite operator in your own business or your own career. Okay, so it's being methodical with it rather than trying to get everything done at once. Okay, tip 5 is to learn to delegate. I think a lot of people who run their own business or are in a career of some sort try to do everything themselves. The only way that you're ever going to be able to find more time is to be able to delegate more tasks. And I spoke to a guy once who ran a multi-million pound business, and he ran it with him and just 2 other people. Whenever you want to create time to focus on the things that you want to do. Now, I just want to coach. I just want to come on live streams. I just want to do live programs. I want to do workshops. I want to do programs. I just want to coach. I just want to teach blokes. I just want to connect with blokes. What I don't want to do is deal with the emails, deal with the enrolling process, deal with any problems that are happening there. So I hire staff who are fucking excellent at doing that, who are second to none. That means that my time is focused on developing the man, not on fucking enrolling people through the logistical side of things. So then you don't become overwhelmed and burnt out. You become clear and concise on what your role is in the business and or in your career. Okay, so I think that's another key aspect to being as productive as possible. Let's try and squeeze one more in because we're limited on time. So one of the best things that I think that we can do to be productive as possible is review our performance when we are working in our business or when we are working in our company or whatever it is that you do. And it's recognizing where your time and your energy is going. And the only way that you can ever improve on that is if you review it. And so we have in the 28-day program and the Mastermind accountability systems in place so that we know where we're putting our time, so that we know where we're going wrong with our time. So if we try to do too much, we recognize it. If we did too little, we recognize it. If we work well, we recognize it. And in terms of growth, the only other way we're going to get better and make it a permanent fixture in our life is by reviewing the process and acting on that process. That way we get better over and over again. So I always have a productive journal, things that allow me to tell me exactly how I've been performing, and allowing me to know exactly the areas that I need to improve on. Okay, I think that's it. We've rattled through like 6 or maybe 5, 6, maybe even 7 different productivity tips for when you're at work. The key thing is the difference between listening to it and going, yeah, that's great, and then actually fucking implementing it. And that's the difference, okay? Implementation is king. Implementation will change the game. Your self-limiting beliefs on what you think is capable need to be broken down so that you realize you can be much more productive and that you can be more efficient with your time and your energy, okay, to get the balance between professional life and personal life. All right, guys, hope that helps. I'm not going to be back till Wednesday. I'm away with the family for a couple of days, so I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll catch you soon.